Welcome to Louisiana Football TV Magazine with your host, Lieber King.
Hi, I'm Lieber King with Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We have a great show tonight, a lot of interesting guests. Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator from New Orleans Saints. We have a taped interview with him tonight that I did this summer. And also the coaches from Christian Life Football Program in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the recruiting coordinator from ULM of Monroe. It's now the Warhawks. I got to get used to saying Warhawks. Mario Price, the recruiting coordinator, we're talking some ULM football. They play Alabama in a couple of weeks. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Greg, the Go Auto guy. I just had to come in and tell everyone thank you for all the money you saved me. You really saved me hundreds.
Great. Since Go
Auto only specializes in car insurance, I can save lots of money.
And for convenience.
I had options. Call one of your non-commissioned agents, go online, or come into the store like now to save money. Come meet my husband. He wants to talk about his new car.
Ready, set, go Auto.
Mansfield Auto World. Now, Marketplace Chevrolet Buick in Stonewall, Louisiana, off I-49 Stonewall exit. 6 acres with over 400 new cars and trucks, more options than ever before, and an extensive after-sales department for service, parts, and accessories. When you're in the market, it's your place. All roads lead to Marketplace Chevrolet Buick, I-49 Stonewall exit.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Innovation starts with new ideas, the kind of ideas that can change the way we live. With the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, ideas are becoming reality. At EAP, we provide startup companies with the business tools and investor sourcing they need to launch successful business ideas. If you have a great idea, visit our website to learn more. EAP, making it work for you.
Marty J's, support Marty J's Restaurant, our caterer for the season. Unbelievable bread pudding. I think my staff will vouch for that. Their fried catfish is unbelievable. We have fried catfish every week here. Unbelievable. Look, we can't get away from that bread pudding. It's unbelievable. I need to join a second gym. Marty J's, check out Marty Chabert, Jason Petrie. Also, they have 2 locations, Perkins Road, and also right by LSU, off of Nicholson, right by LSU, you can go to see them, which is close to Co-op Bookstore. Marty J's, thanks for their food and being a part of this for this season. I'm going to go ahead and in segment 1, we're going to talk about our offensive and defensive picks for this past week, week 2 in high school football. We're going to talk about all the great kids, starting with offense. Parker Orgeron. Does that sound familiar? That's Ed Orgeron's son from Mandeville High School. 8 catches, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a win over Barb. Hey, that's the key. It was over Barb. Big-time program at Barb. Way to go, Parker. I think he's a big-time player. He tied with Bruce Jordan Swilling. That's Pat Swilling's son. 344 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns at half. At half against St. Stanislaus, which is, by the way, where Stephen Peterman played from LSU. Great program. Let's go ahead and go to our 5A defense. Byron Jenkins, Helen Cox on the West Bank, 2 sacks, block punt, 11 tackles, and a win over McMain. Let's continue on 5A. Peyton Robert, Hahnville, get this, 1 interception, 16 solo tackles, 4 assists in a win over a good Patterson program. It's where Kenny Hilliard played, Nike Hilliard, and Dalton Hilliard from LSU. Let's go ahead and go to 4A. Marquise Stevenson had a phenomenal night as well. 8 catches, 4 touchdowns, 207 yards receiving over Oak Grove, Northwood High School. Go to our defense. Clifford Chapman, a commitment to LSU, DB. He's 6'5", 190, 11 tackles, 1 interception, 2 deflected balls, and one punt return there. That big over Slidell. A good program Slidell has. We're going to go ahead and go to 3A. Parker Brewerton. This guy was everywhere. Winfield High School, 2 sacks, 8 tackles, and played offensive tackle the whole game against Jonesboro Hodge. He's a sleeper for 1AA. Let's go ahead and go to defense. Brennan Williams, a favorite player of mine, Lauraville High School. This kid was everywhere. 6 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. And by the way, he ran the ball 74 yards and 2 TDs. Going to go ahead and go to offense in 1A. What a night passing for Miles Lapore from Newman High School. 21 of 25 in attempts, 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a win over Riverdale. This kid backed up Herb Tyler's son last year. Did a great job already in week 2. Going to go ahead and defense 1A. Brian Rosa, our player really of the week from Ridgewood in New Orleans. 12 solo tackles, 7 assists. And get this, he ran for 326 yards and 7 touchdowns. This kid did everything but be the water boy that night for his team. Go ahead and go to 1A. Jake Arsenault, Ascension Episcopal, 175 yards passing, 49 yards running, 2 touchdowns in the air over a good Catholic Point Coupee High School coached by David Semino, former Parkview Baptist player. Jake is committed to UL of Lafayette, has a great arm. Go ahead and go to defense for 1A. And that's it right there. We've got a lot of honorable mentions, which I'm going to talk about through the whole show. And I'll get some of them out right now, but there's tons of them in a week that's just filled with stats. Jake Bartley of Calvary Baptist threw for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 12 of 18 passing. Pretty impressive. His second start replacing Mr. Shea Patterson, who's now at IMG Academy. Keontae Thompson, O.P. Walker, which is now Landry Walker in New Orleans, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, and ran for 155. He was offered by LSU. He's only a junior. Noah Harris, running back, Turlings Catholic. This kid every week runs for 100 yards, but he is one of the toughest running backs I've seen play in Louisiana. 4 touchdowns against Shaw. Tyreek Campbell from Karen Crow, 238 yards and a touchdown for Karen Crow. Joseph Alvis from Terrebonne, 158 rushing, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Price had 2 punt returns for touchdowns for Lafayette High School. And Aaron Robertson from Arcadia around Monroe, 3 sacks, 7 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 quarterback hurries. The Notre Dame defense in Lafayette, Notre Dame of Crowley, against Breaux Bridge, had 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, they only allowed 1 first down the whole game. Against Breaux Bridge, who's full of prospects, bigger school, more players. Notre Dame, Louis Cook's one of the best in the business in the United States as a head coach. They gave up -1 in rushing yards. -1 in rushing yards. Unbelievable. Cole Marsh, Neville, 4 tackles, 1 interception for a touchdown. That was in the Landers Dodge battle on the border. Evangel defense held Warren Easton to 6 points. This was a team that averaged 50 a game last year in 14. They had 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 block punt. And finally, Michael Divinity, linebacker from John Ehret, that everybody wants to sign from John Ehret, 6'3", 220, runs a 4.5. LSU wants him. He had 3 sacks and 9 tackles in the first half for John Ehret High School. Michael Divinity reminds me of Brady James, if you remember that name. Had a pretty good career at LSU, went to West Monroe, and played about 10 years in the NFL with Dallas Cowboys mostly. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we got an interview with Rob Ryan, the defense coordinator from New Orleans Saints. And also, I'm going to introduce our Christian Life football coaches here in Baton Rouge. We'll be back in just a moment.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay, big guy, did you get the milk?
Check.
The dry cleaning?
Checkity check.
The twins?
Check. Ah!
Don't forget the important things in life. For health insurance, check what matters most. Vantage Health Plan.
Mansfield Auto World. Now, Marketplace Chevrolet Buick in Stonewall, Louisiana, off I-49 Stonewall exit. 6 acres with over 400 new cars and trucks, more options than ever before, and an extensive after-sales department for service, parts, and accessories. When you're in the market, it's your place. All roads lead to Marketplace Chevrolet Buick, I-49 Stonewall exit.
Innovation starts with new ideas, the kind of ideas that can change the way we live. With the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, ideas are becoming reality. At EAP, we provide startup companies with the business tools and investor sourcing they need to launch successful business ideas. If you have a great idea, visit our website to learn more. EAP, making it work for you.
Hey, aren't you Greg, that Go Auto guy?
Yes, I am.
My mom likes Go Auto.
Well, of course, Go Auto saves Mom lots of money. And we can save you a bundle. No expensive add-ons and never a commissioned agent. So do yourself a favor and give us a call. Go online or come into any one of our stores. And start saving today. It's just that simple.
Ready, set, go, go, go Auto.
Welcome back, Libra King, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I had a really good interview with, Mr. Famous Rob Ryan, who I really like a lot. I appreciate him even more off the air. He was one of the nicest interviews, probably one of the easiest interviews I've ever done with a pretty famous guy. I mean, Rob is, was out to help us in any way. He brought his son to a picture shoot. Matthew Ryan, who's 6'3", 320, a center. By the way, he's a D1 prospect, was raised a little bit in Michigan, as Matthew tells us. But watch this interview with Rob Ryan. We talk about him, the New Orleans Saints, and his son, Matthew Ryan, at Newman High School. Libra King, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We have a parent here today that brought his son, Matthew Ryan, from Newman. And Coach, I know all of New Orleans knows you. This is going to go all over Louisiana and some other states. And appreciate you bringing Matthew today. What is it like coaching him and raising him? And you're a coach with the Saints. You're the D coordinator. You're from a coaching family. Right. What's it like to now have your son go through this process and the emotions that go with that?
Well, I tell you what, it's exciting. I think you guys do a great job with these kids from Louisiana out here. I think it's one of the best states I've seen. I've coached in college for a long time before, 18 years in the pros, and this is a great state for football. I think they're really well coached, the kids, and I think I put this state up for anybody as far as athletes and real football players. So it's fun to be a part of it. It's fun to watch my son grow, and Nelson Stewart does a fantastic job out there at Newman, and as you guys know, and it's exciting just to watch him play, and it is really you look forward to it on Friday nights for sure.
Well, I will say this I want to mention the Saints because Baton Rouge, where I live, love the Saints. I mean, I know New Orleans is avid. It's New Orleans Saints are phenomenal. It's everything. But Baton Rouge people love you, and wherever people go in Baton Rouge, the Ryan name is just they love what you've done with the defense and the potential of 15.
Well, I tell you what, it's exciting. This is a great state. I mean, I know Les, a good friend of mine. We coached together at Oklahoma State, and I love the fans out there at LSU. They're great people, and from Baton Rouge. But as Saints, being part of the Saints, I mean, we know we have the backing of the whole state and then some. So, it means something to play in that dome and with the great fans. But, I love the high school football here. I think, you see some great crowds out there at these high school games supporting their kids and their schools, and it really is special. Well, I think there's a lot of really good coaches out, and I think you guys do a great job of giving kids exposure, and I think that's a big part of recruiting. At least I'm finding that out with my son nowadays. And then attending, as many camps as you can it's good because you get different coaching from other coaches, top coaches in the country, and if those kids really can stick to their fundamentals, I mean, that'll be the best way that all young men can improve and make themselves, hopefully college ready. And I know it's a great game, and you can always improve. That's for sure.
Well, for the Who Dat Nation and the Saints, good luck. I hope y'all win the Super Bowl this year again. I mean, it's a great, the Saints and Louisiana is the best match in heaven.
No, there's no question. It's fun to be here. I want to be part of that, another Super Bowl here, and also be my third. So it's been a while since I've won one. We're about due.
I got to ask you this. When you're at a high school game, you got all this food in Louisiana. When you're in Michigan, they got food at the games. What's your favorite food to eat when it's tailgating? What do you like to eat? In this state?
Well, in this state, see, I haven't been too much tailgating, but I do eat, obviously I'm a nacho guy, but Newman's got some good nachos. But if you're talking, real Cajun food, I mean, come on, this is the greatest state in the world for, and it's hard to lose any weight in this state.
You got that right, Coach. All right, thank you, man. That was Rob Ryan. We actually had about a 20-minute interview with him. We couldn't put that on in the whole hour show, but what a great guy. I hope the Saints have a great year. I mean, they're 0-1. It's too early. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, the sky's falling because the first game you lose. It's a long season in high school, college, and pro, and I've always learned this from college coaches the last 25 years, that your team will grow from week 1 to week 3. It'll be a different team in 3 weeks. The Saints obviously need somebody to step up on offense, and defense, I actually like the way they look. They got a lot of rookies that play hard, play fast. I even like Bro. Delvin Bro, I love his story coming back from that neck injury, but I think he's going to be a great corner. And Stephon Anthony, the rookie linebacker from Clemson, does a good job. I think he's going to be a great player. Akeem Hicks and their D-line is actually going to be okay, I think. But their offense, we need the running game to stay strong. And I want to go ahead and lead into that, how teams go from week 1 to week 3 better. I want to introduce our coaches from Christian Life High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. To my left, Ben Palmer. Ben, glad that you could come after practice and be a part of the show.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Your O-line coach, who I'm very familiar with, Dylan Moore from Ponchatoula. I want to plug where he's from. He originally played at Ponchatoula High School, and I'm going to talk about that later in the show. 6'4", 220 out of high school. Was talking to his dad late in the recruiting process, and Dylan ends up being 308, 6'4" at Louisiana College, and playing. Didn't have a place to go at 2 weeks left in recruiting, and it worked out. It's a great story for kids and moms and dads that are watching our show. That's what our show's about, to give you some hope about recruiting. But Ben, you're Katy, Texas native.
Yes, sir.
And you're in Louisiana now. What's it like to switch from being from San Diego? You coached a little bit too.
Yes, sir.
And now Baton Rouge. You were at Calvary Baptist at some point.
Yes, sir.
And then Evangel Christian.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I grew up at Katy. Big time powerhouse of Texas. Ended up at Evangel. Long story short, Coach John Botman, who was the head coach at the time, came from Katy. Me and his youngest son actually went to elementary school together back in first grade. Didn't even know it. So ended up there at Evangel, coached with him a couple years there. I went to the Marines after that. I got out of the Marines after did some time in Afghanistan, got out, started coaching again at a local high school there in California. It was #1 athletic program in the entire state. From there, I actually went to Houston Baptist, as a GA from that point. And then Coach Botman calls me out of the blue one day and says, hey, I got a job here at Calvary if you want to come back and teach and coach with us. And I always told my wife, he's the best head coach I've ever been around. If he offered me another job again, we're dropping everything. And that's exactly what we did. And now I'm here.
And I want to mention this too, that Katy High School alone seems like every year, Coach, and I'll ask you this more in the next segment, but every year they have a top 10 player in Texas as a running back every year, it seems like. It seems like their starting running backs can go to a top 5 conference school every year at Katy High School.
They are. When I was there, it never was like that. But Katie's always been that way. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to gain 300 yards a game, and good luck stopping them. And now they got some dudes who are getting highly recruited too, doing it. And like I said, I think every year it's one of the top players in the country.
Daniil Hunter from LSU, where's he from? Katy, Texas. He played at Seco Ranch, I believe, high school in Texas. He's pretty good with the Minnesota Vikings. If you watched last night, he didn't play a lot, but he will be playing for the Vikings. We'll be back with more with our coaches in just a moment.
Mansfield Auto World. Now, Marketplace Chevrolet Buick in Stonewall, Louisiana, off I-49 Stonewall exit. 6 acres with over 400 new cars and trucks, more options than ever before, and an extensive after-sales department for service, parts, and accessories. When you're in the market, it's your place. All roads lead to Marketplace Chevrolet Buick, I-49 Stonewall exit.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Innovation starts with new ideas, the kind of ideas that can change the way we live. With the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, ideas are becoming reality. At EAP, we provide startup companies with the business tools and investor sourcing they need to launch successful business ideas. If you have a great idea, visit our website to learn more. EAP, making it work for you.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Greg, the Go Auto guy. I just had to come in and tell everyone thank you for all the money you saved me. You really saved me hundreds.
Great. Since Go Auto
only specializes in car insurance, I can save lots of money.
And for convenience.
I had options. Call one of your non-commissioned agents, go online, or come into the store like now to save money. Come meet my husband. He wants to talk about his new car.
Ready, set, go, go, go Auto.
Before I go back to our guest, I want to thank our sponsor for our top player recruits every week, 1 to 5A. I want to mention a man, his name is Tad. He owns Linear Controls. He stepped up to the plate 2 years ago and says, look, I want to sponsor something that means something to our communities. And I said, you know what? What is it? He said, let's sponsor all the kids and let's have all the top players every year, 1A to 5A, offense and defense, weekly for the state of Louisiana. Not one city, but all the cities. So Tad, I appreciate your support. Linear Controls sponsoring our recruits of the week, our player of the weeks every week on the show. But I want to go ahead and go back to our coaches. Ben Palmer, talk about Afghanistan. You were in Afghanistan a year as a sergeant, and now going back into coaching from. I want you to promote the military.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Even when I got in the military, a lot of the guys I was in boot camp with were like, what are you doing? You were a coach in high school at Evangel. I mean, people all across the country knew who the program was, and why did you join the military? And it was something I always wanted to do. I didn't want to be 40 and regret not doing it one day. And I said, I know coaching is what I want to do with the rest of my life. If anything, being in the Marines is going to make me a better coach one day. After I've done my time in here, and it was an experience. Being over there. It's hard to explain it unless you've been there. But the good thing is. I tell people is that there's a lot of good stuff happening there. It was crazy going in. We were the biggest operation in the entire Afghan war. We went to a city, 80,000 people, liberated from the Taliban, built schools. Got rid of all the poppy that the Taliban uses to basically fund their entire organization. And it's just crazy seeing these kids who had never read a book, never been to school before, get a backpack, get to go to school, kind of get to walk around and do what they wanted, and have a little bit of freedom in their life. So.
Ben, when you're on base, this is for the football people out there, because I always wondered myself, but when you're on base in another country, away from the fighting, away from all the stuff, and our time zone obviously is different than the United States. How many people are thinking about Saturday college football, high school football Friday nights to get the scores and the satellites on base?
No, I mean, it was great. Where I was.
Their colors, the school colors and everything.
Yeah, I mean, where I was, we didn't have much access to, stuff like that. But I remember, I had a college football preseason, preview magazine, and that thing was gold around there. I mean, everybody wanted to see it. It was like, football. It's almost football time, which means we're almost going home and all this. So it was pretty fun.
That's great. I wanted to mention you were also at La Costa Cannon High in San Diego for a little bit coaching. What was that like in San Diego?
It was great. So that was, like I said, when I got back from Afghanistan, I went to my gunnery sergeant and I said, hey, I got less than a year left. I'm not going to go back to Afghanistan. I've done my time. I've earned a sergeant in a pretty short amount of time. I want to start coaching. That's what I want to do when I get out. And Luckily, right next to the base is La Costa Canyon High School, one of the top programs in California year in and year out. A lot of NFL guys.
Kenny Stills, the Saints.
Kenny Stills is there. Paul Questenberry, who's with the Texans, fighting lymphoma right now. But, one of the top just athletic programs overall everywhere. So I started coaching there. Beautiful area. Every time I'd be driving to work, I'm like, man, I'm in paradise right now. But, great football program, great athletes.
We're going now. We're continuing to Calvary Baptist, where you coached one of the top young quarterbacks in the country, Shea Patterson, who's now at IMG Academy. You also coached Jake Bartley, and who's now the current quarterback, who's not really, we mentioned earlier, he's pretty good.
Yes.
He's pretty good. So first of all, your take on Shea Patterson, his ability from all the quarterbacks you've seen from Texas to California, and then we'll talk about Jake after that.
Yeah, Shea's got all the talent in the world, but more than that, he's just a great kid. I've never seen a kid work that hard. It's 9 o'clock at night. We're driving by the school. The stadium lights are on. What's going on? And you see Shea out there just throwing by himself. No one's going to outwork Shea Patterson. So, wish him all the, success in the world. He's earned every bit, that he gets. But I knew without a doubt, Calvary would be in good hands. When I heard he was leaving, I said, well, Jake Bartley's going to get moved back to quarterback. The leader he is, he's the heart and soul of the team. With all the great recruits Calvary had, we knew last year when we won back-to-back state championship, if we lost Jake Bartley, that was going to be the biggest thing because he was the key to that team.
Receiver, now they're trying to replace him at wideout. That's the key. He was that slot guy that made plays. He can run, too. I saw him against Turling's Catholic in person 2 weeks ago. Continue on. Now you're in Baton Rouge, Christian Life Academy, known for Michael Clayton, Stephon LaFleur's Louisville, Rashad Matthews, LSU, and Southern. You go in your locker room, there's about 8 guys that were big-timers in college that went to Christian Life. How'd you get to Christian Life from Shreveport?
It's just kind of those funny stories that I never even heard of the school. Jacob Hesser's brother actually showed it to me, showed the job posting. I saw it on Football Scoop, but then Jacob Hesser's brother was like, hey, man, you should apply for this job. And, Coach Bachman gave me, he's like, yeah, go ahead, get the, head coach experience. And I approved this. And he goes, I was warning you, they're gonna offer you the job when you go down there for the interview. I was like, nah, no way. And sure enough, they did. But when I walked on campus, I knew there's something special about this place. I would not have left coaching with Coach Bachman, the program that Calvary was, if I didn't believe in what we're doing. And it's already been a huge turn. I got people who've been there with all those stud athletes that have gone on and say, Coach, we've never seen the football program like this.
And who shocked you the other day showing up at your practice at 5 to 7 the other day?
Coach you mean? I was talking about the Episcopal coach.
Yeah, no,
you stopped by. It was awesome. Spent a couple hours with us.
I'll tell you, I said, I'm not going to stay for 1 minute. I'm going to stay the whole practice.
Yeah,
and
sure did.
We're going to have a lot of time in our next segment. We're going to get to Darren Moore, offensive line coach from Ponchatoula. We're going to talk about how he got to Christian Life and his background at Louisiana College where he was a player. We've got a little more time left, but real quick, Coach, I met some kids from France that are on your team, and they're brand new. 2 guys that are seniors. They look D1. Like, they passed the eyeball test of D1. One's a DN, 6'4", 240. Runs around like he can play ball. I don't even need to see him in pads. And then you got this running back / receiver that are he's unbelievable. These guys don't even know football hardly.
Yeah, no, I needed numbers. I went and recruited the hallways. I saw them too. I was like, why are you not playing football? That one kid's a legit 4'4" kid. The other guy said eyeball test. He looks like an NFL defensive end. They've been here since freshmen playing basketball. I got them to come out and play football, and I'm telling you, if they can figure it out, they could be big-time Division I football players.
I'm impressed because the big 6'4" kid, I went to meet him. He knew English right away. He hadn't been here very long.
Yeah. Well, they've been here 4 years.
But from what part of France?
Well, they're from Martinique, French Caribbean.
Martinique, French Caribbean, and these 2 guys are big-time sleepers now. Yeah. They're the poster boys for sleepers first year. Coaches, if you're watching, got to give Penn Palmer a call. We're going to talk to Darren Moore about some of these young big linemen coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm
Greg, the Go Auto guy. I just had to come in and tell everyone thank you for all the money you saved me. You really saved me hundreds.
Great. Since Go
Auto only specializes in car insurance, I can save lots of money.
And for convenience.
I had options. Call one of your non-commissioned agents, go online, or come into the store like now to save money. Come meet my husband. He wants to talk about his new car.
Ready, set, go, go Auto.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Innovation starts with new ideas, the kind of ideas that can change the way we live. With the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, ideas are becoming reality. At EAP, we provide startup companies with the business tools and investor sourcing they need to launch successful business ideas. If you have a great idea, visit our website to learn more. EAP, making it work for you.
Hey, aren't you Greg, that Go Auto guy?
Yes, I am.
My mom likes Go Auto.
Well, of course, Go Auto saves Mom lots of money. And we can save you a bundle. No expensive add-ons and never a commissioned agent. So do yourself a favor and give us a call. Go online or come into any one of our stores. And start saving today. It's just that simple.
Ready, set, go Auto.
Spending time with family and friends and enjoying my retirement years, that's what matters most to me. Now that I'm turning 65, I want to keep on enjoying them. That's why I chose Vantage Medicare Advantage. They offer Silver Sneakers fitness memberships, a free prescription drug card, free wellness visits, and the premium for the Zero plan doesn't cost me a dime.
When it comes to health insurance, check what matters most. Vantage Health Plan.
Welcome back, Lieber King, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I'm going to have more with Ben Palmer and also Darren Moore. They're still on the set, but I've got a big-time call-in from a recruiting coordinator, and I'm glad to do this. ULM football, the Warhawks in Monroe, Louisiana. Coach Mario Price. Coach, thank you for joining us tonight on Louisiana Football.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate being on. I appreciate the opportunity.
I know, Coach, we can't talk about recruits, but we can talk about recruiting. And I want to talk about your team, if that's okay, to start off and brag about them a little bit, because this show goes statewide, and it'll go North Louisiana and South Louisiana. So I want to start off with your young quarterback, and y'all had a tough first game, Georgia. I mean, that's not the easiest place to go on the road with a young quarterback. Coach, get your thoughts on Garrett Smith, the young quarterback, and where you think he's at right now with just, I mean, then y'all got Bama in 2 weeks.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Garrett is definitely in a good place right now, just mentally, physically. You mentioned a tough opener, against Georgia last week, and Garrett played extremely well even in that environment. He was around 80% completion rate. Threw the ball around 30 times, and so complete that many balls against that type of competition, 2 touchdowns, and stay relatively clean as far as turnovers go. I was extremely surprised and excited. Just for a redshirt freshman to come in that environment and kind of execute. And he followed up with a tremendous performance here at home for the home crowd against Nicholls State. And 412, I think, all-purpose yards there going into halftime, and was close to setting a school record if we would have continued to play him. So we're extremely excited about him.
Coach, a kid that I love, and I loved him in high school, Rashawn Caesar, your star senior receiver. Seems like he's averaging double-digit catches every game. He lit up Georgia. I'm sure he'll even do good at Alabama, but this kid's a senior. What's your thoughts on his pro future, 6 foot, 192 pounds? I loved him in school, in high school, and thought he was great then, but heck, he's really done great for ULM, right, Coach?
He has, and I was actually the inside receivers coach last year, so I kind of had the blessings to be able to coach him and be around him. He's a great kid, student of the game. You're not going to find a guy that works harder than him, just to be totally honest with you. He works every day to perfect his craft, and it's shown. He's put it on the field for a couple seasons now, and he kind of got put on the scene at a drop of a dime his redshirt freshman year.
Yeah.
Had a couple injuries, and we threw him in, and he just has continued to rise to the occasion, and he's playing out of his mind right now, and we just want to keep him healthy and keep him doing what he's doing.
Another guy I want to brag about for ULM who's a senior, Mel Kiper and these guys will start talking about him. I think you'll agree. Garen Johnson, your D tackle, almost 300 pounds, great feet, former Rayville High School star. Coach, very big-time sleeper for the NFL, right?
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe so. You know, he continues to rise to the occasion when we play these big-time teams, and you know, he's performed extremely well. You know, he went to Missouri out of high school, and really kind of remembered us as we recruited him out of Rayville, and came back pretty quickly. And you know, he continues to play at a high level, and very active at the nose guard position, and you know, he's got a lot of eyes on him right now.
I think the New Orleans Saints ought to look at him a little bit. They need some D linemen. I know we got some Dallas fans up in North Louisiana, but maybe them too. But I think the Saints need a D lineman a little more than Dallas right now. But Coach, I've had some injuries. Your linebacker Hunter Kissinger, great player. A couple of your linemen have been kind of banged up. Your tight end Alex Osborne from here in Dutchtown, Baton Rouge, who's done a good job, might miss the season. But the injury situation, y'all are got some guys healing up, mending for this open date. Came at a good time.
Absolutely. You know, it's kind of good when you can take a week off and let everybody get healed up. You know, some guys want to actually get healed up over this week. Might take a little bit more time, but you know, even the guys that that have not been injured prior to the season, you know, it's good for everybody to kind of get refreshed and really focus on ULM football and the standard that we're trying to play at, and you know, spend that time on themselves. So, you know, we're definitely utilizing that, getting kids in the cold tubs, getting kids in treatment and all that type of thing. So everybody can come back with juveniles, and we're going to have 11 straight games, so we're going to.
Coach, I also want to ask you about, you know, for the people in Louisiana that follow these Louisiana natives, any kid, young kid on the team that's not a star right now, but that's doing really well as a freshman, maybe a redshirt freshman, maybe a true sophomore, that's from Louisiana. Anybody stick out that you'd like to brag about a little bit? I know you don't want to brag too much. It's only week 2, but any young man from Louisiana you'd like to talk about?
Oh, man, absolutely. I mean, it's you kind of can pick your poison. It's a bunch of guys that kind of showed up here actually pretty quickly that's going to have a great future here at ULM. Xavier Dice from Manning High School, you know, he's continuing to impress. I know he hasn't been on the field much. He's a 15 signee, but I mean, he's extremely impressive. Devin Jackson down from Endicott High School in New Orleans.
Big old lineman.
Big old boy. And he plays extremely well, extremely athletic for his size, and you know, he's continuing to impress. Our local guy here, Cody McGuire from Sterlington High School, linebacker. I mean, he just, you know, I get to work with some special teams, and I love just kind of utilizing him on anything I can, because he's just an impressive player.
Coach, we're going to lead out with our final question, and I want you to use this for recruiting purposes to help you sell your program statewide in Louisiana. You have the state right now. You have the mic. What would you like to say to parents in the state of Louisiana why their young man should, you know, play for ULM? And I know y'all recruit south and north for Louisiana equally. So anything you'd like to say about ULM? I mean, heck, the Colton Browning show the last few years, a lot of attention there. Coach Barry's done a good job. The name's really getting bigger here in South Louisiana too.
No doubt. You know, if targeting to parents, obviously, you know, the opportunity to play football is great and tremendous. A lot of times the parents look more academically. I think one of the biggest things that we can sell from an academic standpoint to parents when we're talking to them is just how we're able to get kids into school and get them graduated. We have around 12 kids right now that are playing right now their senior year with a degree in their hand. And
that's impressive.
You know, that's extremely important because, you know, as I kind of always tell parents, this thing is about the kid getting something out of it as well. And, you know, we obviously have a lot of kids that have got some NFL potential, having all the NFL scouts coming through here, you know, trying to grade these kids. So, you know, that opportunity is going to be there, but the opportunity to get a degree, that's a lasting effect. And, you know, it's just a great environment here at ULM right now, just the family atmosphere. You know, the cool new jerseys. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check that out.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of stuff with our jerseys between the camo and then the P40 Warhawk jersey we wore here this last weekend. So, I mean, it's just an exciting time building a brand new end zone facility, brand new field turf. I mean, we just kind of got this thing going in the right direction right now. It's a good time to hop on a lot of things going up, you know.
Well, Coach, I'm going to give you the ultimate plug. Y'all beat Arkansas 2 years ago at Arkansas, ruined their season. Beat Alabama in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
I'm pulling for ULM and the Warhawks against Alabama. I'll be watching every minute.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck to you in recruiting and coaching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Tell Coach Berry I said hey.
Will do. Sounds good, and thanks for the opportunity. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Coach. That was Coach Mario Price, the recruiting coordinator, ULM Warhawks in Monroe, Louisiana. We'll be back with more with our Christian Life football coaches. We'll get into Christian Life and talk about the school. And also we're going to talk about their O-line coach. We're going to introduce him again when we come back.
Innovation starts with new ideas, the kind of ideas that can change the way we live. With the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, ideas are becoming reality. At EAP, we provide startup companies with the business tools and investor sourcing they need to launch successful business ideas. If you have a great idea, visit our website to learn more. EAP, making it work for you.
Mansfield Auto World. Now, Marketplace Chevrolet Buick in Stonewall, Louisiana, off I-49 Stonewall exit. 6 acres with over 400 new cars and trucks, more options than ever before, and an extensive after-sales department for service, parts, and accessories. When you're in the market, it's your place. All roads lead to Marketplace Chevrolet Buick, I-49 Stonewall exit.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Greg, the Go Auto guy. I just had to come in and tell everyone thank you for all the money you saved me. You really saved me hundreds.
Great. Since Go Auto
only specializes in car insurance, I can save lots of money.
And for convenience.
I had options. Call one of your non-commissioned agents, go online, or come into the store like now to save money. Come meet my husband. He wants to talk about his new car.
Ready, set, go, go, go Auto.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Spending time with family and friends and enjoying my retirement years, that's what matters most to me. Now that I'm turning 65, I want to keep on enjoying them. That's why I chose Vantage Medicare Advantage. They offer Silver Sneakers fitness memberships, a free prescription drug card, free wellness visits, and the premium for the Zero plan doesn't cost me a dime.
When it comes to health insurance, check what matters most. Vantage Health Plan.
Lieber King, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I had Ben Palmer back with me, the head coach at Christian Life, and his O-line coach, who I know very well. He was on the show in high school at Ponchatoula High School 5 years ago?
6.
6 already?
Yep.
And he's already a coach, and he was here on as a kid. He's still young, but he's now a coach at Christian Life. Darren, tell everybody about, you played at Ponchatoula from 09 to 2012. But in 2013, you were a coach at Louisiana College after you finished playing ball.
Right.
And now you're coaching O-line with Ben Palmer at Christian Life. So what's the experience been like for you as a player and still a young guy, now a coach?
It's been a great experience. Graduated from Ponchatoula in 2009. Played for Coach Hank and Coach Mike over there, and then went and played for Coach Dennis Dunn and Coach Mike Richard at Louisiana College, and just an unbelievable staff and everything that goes on there. And then I worked underneath Coach Dunn for a year, and then moved to Arkansas for a year, and then came back home to Baton Rouge to Christian Life to be the O-line coach and offensive coordinator over there. And it's a great experience. Got a bunch of great kids that helps me out at Christian Life, and it's a great job.
We're going to talk about some of you young linemen. You've got some young, talented guys, but I remember your dad calling me your senior year. You don't remember this, but your dad called me in a panic with 2 weeks of recruiting left. He said, I got a kid, As soon as he get your name out of his mouth, I said, Ponchatoula, Darren Moore's your son? He's, yeah. 6'4", 220. He's like, yeah. I said, I saw him play. I said, he's going to be 300 one day. Where's he going? And your dad said, no offers. Nothing. What do we do? I said, what about D3? Would Darren go D3? I said, well, talk to him about D3, Louisiana College. Dennis Dunn. Talked to Dennis, and with such a Cinderella story is that you are successful and you go down to Louisiana College, not just get on the team, but you played, you started, you were a leader on that team. You got up to 308 pounds, as you told me tonight, 6'4", 308 from 220. And if you're a parent or you're a young man watching tonight, you think you're too thin to play college ball, you just need another year, right, Darren?
Yep.
You're going to fill out.
Yep. Graduated at 17. I remember on the show we tried to tell them that, just give me a redshirt year and
let me fill out.
And let me fill out a year. Well, I went and played at Louisiana College, and I was a 4-year letterman there. Was an All-American my senior year, and graduated at 308 pounds. And great experience up there, man. If any kid that is on the fence from like a walk-on spot, they really should give Louisiana College a try and a look at, because that's a great program, winning program, and Coach Dunn's a great coach.
And don't give up on football if it's not LSU, Tulane, ULM, or Louisiana Tech.
Absolutely.
Go somewhere and play if you want to play. And there's a lot of good colleges in state, 1AA, D2, D3. We've got 12 great colleges in Louisiana, and they're one of them. Brag about some of those young big linemen that I saw at practice the other day. Talk about the young kid from Brazil.
Humberto, he's from Rio de Janeiro. He's 6'5", 305 pounds. He's a junior, very raw. Right now we got him on defensive line, not offensive line, because of the language barrier, because he speaks Portuguese and I speak English. So
understandable, yeah.
So he plays defensive line for us right now. Hopefully I can get him on the offensive line later on in the year. He could be a great right tackle. He has great feet. He ran a 4.53 pro agility at 300 pounds.
And then you got another junior of transfer from Parkview Baptist.
Yep, Billy Baker. That's another guy.
6'3", 6'4".
6'3", 6'4", 285. Great feet.
Junior.
And he plays defensive line for us too, because he came in a little later, and he's just trying to learn the system as well.
And your best one's a senior, possibly, Alford.
Yeah, Alford's a junior too.
Junior also, he's possibly your best one.
He's
right now.
Jacob Alford's at Louisiana College. Davis Alford's his brother, starting left tackle for me. He's 6'2", 250, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and he's a great left tackle, man, and he can play. He can ball out.
Coach, exciting stuff. Yeah. I was at your practice for 2 hours, and that's why people need to go watch these teams practice. You can't go off of what somebody did in 14 or 13, and y'all might have the go undefeated in 16, but 15 looks promising with these young guys. Ben, you've been at Calvary, you've been at Evangel. Katie, you're from a football town.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
you excited, huh?
Yeah, been around a lot of winning. Know what it takes to win. We got the ability to win. We get these kids to really jump on board, which they have been, keep working hard. The sky's the limit for this program. I would not have left Calvary if I didn't believe that. And, we got some young guys. We got some good seniors right now, but, it's just going to get better and better as we move forward.
Talk about your senior prospect that's under the radar.
We got, Jared Davis, our running back. Big time guy.
Brennan Williams, maybe?
Brennan Williams, great. I'd tell him yesterday, I go, wow, Brennan, that looked like Sean Brown yesterday. That looked just like Sean Brown.
One more, your junior athlete at running back, big time player.
Oh yeah, it's got UL called me today about him. He's about to blow up in the recruiting scene.
His name? Tell me his name.
Jacob Caboti had 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I think he had another couple rushing touchdowns the week before.
Built like Craig Lawston right now. This got some talent over there. They're young and raw, but I'm glad I went to practice. Yeah. Darren, appreciate you being on the show. Coach, Ben, good luck with this team, this program, doing a great job. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Our guest tonight, you get Louisiana fish fry, guys.
All right, there we go.
And we're also going to get you some Superior Grill gift certificates. We'll be back with our final segment. We're picking our college football picks for Louisiana college football teams. Me and Reed Altaji when I come back.
Hey, aren't you Greg, that Go Auto guy?
Yes, I am.
My mom likes Go Auto.
Well, of course, Go Auto saves Mom lots of money. And we can save you a bundle. No expensive add-ons and never a commissioned agent. So do yourself a favor and give us a call. Go online or come into any one of our stores. And start saving today. It's just that simple.
Ready, set, go, go, go Auto.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay, big guy. Did you get the milk?
Check.
The dry cleaning?
Checkity check.
The twins?
Check.
Don't forget the important things in life. For health insurance, check what matters most. Vantage Health Plan.
Mansfield Auto World. Now, Marketplace Chevrolet Buick in Stonewall, Louisiana, off I-49 Stonewall exit. 6 acres with over 400 new cars and trucks, more options than ever before, and an extensive after-sales department for service, parts, and accessories. When you're in the market, it's your place. All roads lead to Marketplace Chevrolet Buick, I-49 Stonewall exit.
Score a touchdown this football season at Stedman Sports Center in Bossier City with close to 9,000 square feet of all the football equipment you need. Stedman Sports Center will get you in the game with a huge selection of helmets, pads, shoes, school uniforms, and much more. At Stedman's, we help you find what to use and we show you how to use it. That's why we've become a bit of a tradition in local sports. We're fans, we're athletes, and we love football. Stedman Sports Center, helping you score touchdowns for over 35 years.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Greg, the Go Auto guy. I just had to come in and tell everyone thank you for all the money you saved me. You really saved me hundreds.
Great. Since Go Auto
only specializes in car insurance, I can save lots of money.
And for convenience.
I had options. Call one of your non-commissioned agents, go online, or come into the store like now to save money. Come meet my husband. He wants to talk about his new car.
Ready, set, go, go, go Auto.
Welcome back, Lieber Keene, Louisiana Football Magazine. We want to thank our State Farm sponsors for our picks of the week for colleges in Louisiana. Kelly Elkins on Sherwood Forest and Michael LaPera in Central Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Support these agents. They support high school football. Here are our picks. We're going to go fast tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with our college picks. Louisiana College versus Texas Lutheran. I'm going Louisiana College.
Taking Texas Lutheran.
Alabama State at Grambling. I'm going Grambling.
I'm with you as well, Grambling.
Southeastern at Ohio U. Ohio U.
Yeah, Ohio U's too much for them. I'm taking Ohio
They're
U.
D1 people, if you know who Ohio U is. They're good. Auburn LSU. We're going to spend a little more time on this one. At LSU, they beat State. I'm going LSU. They've got the momentum. Fournette's unbelievable. Darius Geis' name is going to be talked about after this week.
I agree. I mean, Auburn just hasn't looked too good yet, right? And
a lot of injuries, too.
LSU last week looked good. We struggled a little bit toward the end of the game, but I really like the Tigers. We talked about it's going to come down to coaching in that fourth quarter.
Hopefully not a field goal.
Pull it out.
Hopefully not a field goal. But we're going to go ahead and continue. Nicholls State and Incarnate Word. I'm going Incarnate Word. I almost beat McNeese.
I'm with you on Incarnate Word.
Maine at Tulane. I'm going Tulane, but it might be close.
Yeah, this is tough for me to choose after the Tulane's last 2 games, but I'm going Tulane as well. Let's take the green wave.
Louisiana Tech at Kansas State. I'm taking an upset with Driscoll. Kansas State's not as good as they usually are. I know Snyder's a great coach. They're not as good as they've been. I'm going with Tech.
I'll hedge my bet a little bit and say Tech's definitely got a chance, but I think Kansas State's going to pull it out.
Northwestern State at Mississippi State. Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
McNeese at Stephen F. Austin. I'm going Stephen F. Austin, an upset.
I'm taking McNeese. I'm going to go Cowboys.
Jackson State at Southern. Southern's on a roll.
Let's go Southern.
We're going to go to our high school picks in the state of Louisiana. Calvary Baptist at Byrd. It's a Thursday night game. This will be already done when you see it in Shreveport. I'm going Bird.
I saw Bird play in the Battle of
Yeah.
the Border last week. Impressive team. I think they're going to be very,
Calvary
very
will
good.
be there, but not early in the year. John Curtis at Parkview, another Thursday game. John Curtis right now. Parkview lost one of their running backs to an injury, Connor Joffrey.
Not many teams I'd pick over Curtis right now.
Riverside at Hahnville. Hahnville's got some talent.
I'll take Hahnville as well.
Pineville at Marksville, going Pineville.
I'm going to take Marksville in this one.
Great. A lot of talent at Pineville. They had 3 100-yard rushers last week at Pineville. Airline at Ruston. Airline in a close one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Ruston in a close one. This could go either way. It's going to be a good game
It
right
could.
there.
Neville at Ouachita. Ouachita's improved, but Neville, man, they have a team.
They're loaded. That program is unbelievable. I mean, I enjoyed watching them so much last week.
Oak Grove at Sterlington. Sterlington, maybe their best team in 7 years.
Sterlington's very good. I'm taking them as well.
Manny at North DeSoto. North DeSoto's improved. Manny's not as good as they were last year.
North DeSoto.
Turling's at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's defense gave up no yards rushing last week. Notre Dame.
Cole Kelly's too good over at Turling's.
It'll be a great game. My Turling's guys are going to be unhappy with me. Kentwood versus Amite. I'm going Amite.
I'm taking Amite as well.
Thibodeau, South Lafourche. The game on the Bayou. South Lafourche.
Taking Thibodeau.
Hey, it will be a close game though.
Yeah. Couple things before we end the show. I want to talk about kind of our players of the week. If anybody knows any stats guys that are out there that are doing high school games or anything like that, we would love you guys to send us the stats from each game. You know, we try our best to collect them from Sunday and Monday.
For the recruits of the week picks.
For the recruits of the week's picks, that is 1A through 5A.
Mom and dads that are watching.
Mom and dads that are watching, coaches that are watching, anybody who's watching. You can send those picks to my email, which is my first initial and last name, 303@yahoo.com. That's RALTHAGE 303@yahoo.com. You can also send it to Lee's email, elberkeen@aol.com. That's LBRECHEEN@aol.com.
And just so parents don't get mad at us, we have to make these picks on Saturday morning. By Sunday, we have to have them in. Friday, the game's over at 10, and we can't look up all 300 high schools in 24 to 48 hours on Tuesday to have it ready for Monday. So if you're a parent, be proactive. Don't get mad if your kid had 18 tackles. Send it to Reed or me by email.
I'd love to get it.
Great show tonight. Rob Ryan was a great guest, Reed. Not in studio, but great guest in the summer. It was
Really
good
nice
interview.
guy to meet him. I mean, he was really impressive guy.
Ben Palmer, great job. Darren did a great job on the O-line.
Christian Life's going to have a good program.
Really
they're,
good.
They're
really
good right now, honestly, and so future's looking good for those guys.
Our recruiting coordinator from ULM of Monroe did a great job.
We talk about it all the time. Monroe does a great job with what they have. It's a good program. Coach Barry and Coach Price know what they're doing.
Mario Price. That's it for our show. Look forward to everyone seeing it this weekend in North Louisiana and tomorrow all over New Orleans, Lafayette, Baton Rouge. We'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed the show. We try our best. We're going to have all the top recruits on throughout the year and the coaches. We'll talk to you next week. Watch the replay tonight in South Louisiana and all week again in Louisiana. We'll talk to you next week.